40 large bottles and 50 small vials. Think about these shipments when you think about the truthfulness of Conrad Murray. Following this, he orders still more benzodiazepines. On June 15th, 10 days before Michael's death, 10 more vials of lorazepam and 20 more vials of midazolam. These are massive quantities of propofol. We've learned that this amounts to over 4 gallons of propofol. We're talking amounts of administration in the range of milligrams, and we're talking about a shipment of 4 gallons of propofol. Spread over, if you go from the April 6th date to the date in June, spread over 80 days, that amounts to nearly 2,000 milligrams a day of propofol. But Conrad Murray wants you to believe that on June 25th, 2009, he administered 25 milligrams, 2.5 cc in a 10 cc syringe. When we know from the shipment records that nearly 2,000 milligrams a day are being shipped. And you also know that multiple search warrants were executed in this case. At Conrad Murray's house, at his businesses, at storage facilities, at Nicole Alvarez's apartment. No other propofol bottles were found. No other propofol bottles were found. Now, what do we learn was happening then as it relates to Conrad Murray's knowledge, the knowledge of the devastation he's unleashing on Michael Jackson through this grossly negligent care? We know that in the first week of June, there's a meeting because there's concern about Michael's nutrition, his weight. And there's a meeting held. And Conrad Murray's at the meeting, and he assures everyone he'll take care of it. And by all accounts, everyone at the meeting is satisfied. It appeared Conrad Murray said he's going to take care of it. He's going to take care of it. They knew him to be the personal physician selected by Michael Jackson. He was a medical doctor. He's hearing what they're telling him, and he assures them that he will take care of it. Randy Phillips said it was obvious that Michael had great trust in Conrad Murray. Conrad Murray indicated to everyone there that Michael was in great health, a statement he made multiple times to multiple people. He told Kathy Jory. He told Kenny Ortega. He told Randy Phillips. He told Bob Taylor, the insurance broker, which we will talk about. On June 25th, he assured Bob Taylor that the media reports of any health concerns regarding Michael were not true. When Conrad Murray knew perfectly well there were health concerns. And Conrad Murray marched forward, putting Conrad Murray first, not Michael Jackson first. But this is during the first week of June. What do we know about June 19th? This was the night at the rehearsal when Kenny Ortega was startled. He was concerned about the condition of Michael. Michael had chills. He was trembling. He was rambling. Conditions we learned from Dr. Waldman, the defense expert, could relate to Demerol. They also could relate to benzodiazepines. We learned from the defense witness, Nurse Cheryl Lee, that she looked it up in the physician's desk reference, and these were symptoms ascribed and attributed to propofol. But we know from Kenny Ortega that on June 19th, he is concerned. Michael didn't rehearse. He sat in the audience with Kenny for a period of time. He eventually asked if he could go home, and Kenny said, of course, and was taken and left early from the rehearsal. But we also know that Kenny Ortega did far more to express these concerns than Conrad Murray ever did. Because Kenny Ortega then wrote an email. And in that email to Randy Phillips, he shared his concerns, and you'll have this in evidence. But he shared his concerns of the condition of Michael on that evening. He said he needed to get help. He relayed that when it was occurring, he reached out to Conrad Murray but could not reach him. He tried to call him, but he was unable to reach him. But as a result of these concerns, we know on June 20th there was another meeting at the Carrollwood residence. And at that meeting we learned that Dr. Murray was upset that Michael had been sent home. Conrad Murray evidently did not appreciate Kenny Ortega getting involved in that aspect of the relationship between Conrad Murray and Michael Jackson. Conrad Murray sternly told Kenny Ortega to essentially mind his own business. Stop trying to be an amateur doctor and psychologist. Be the director and leave Michael's health to me. Unfortunately, that seems to be what happened. Conrad Murray further explained that Michael is physically and emotionally fine, and it should not be your concern. That was on June 20th, 2009. On June 21st, 2009, we learned that Michael was complaining of being hot and cold, different parts of his body. We know that Fahim Muhammad called telephone nurse Lee, who was actually out of state, and explained to her what was taking place, and that she indicated Michael needed to be taken to the hospital. We also learned from Fahim Muhammad that Michael Amir Williams later contacted Conrad Murray, but we don't know what transpired. That was June 21st, 2009. Sunday, June 21st. We then go to Tuesday, June 23rd, where we know Michael performed and rehearsed at the Staples Center. By all accounts, it was a great performance. Michael, again, was looking toward the future. They were getting close to shipping out to London. Everyone was excited. Adrenaline was running high. The crew, everyone who had been working so hard on putting this tour together, they saw light at the end of the tunnel. And it was about to happen. This is it. The tour was about to happen. June 24th, 2009. Again, the last performance that Michael Jackson ever did. Again, by all accounts, it was tremendous. Everyone was excited. Everyone was optimistic that this was about to get off the ground and that all the work, all the dedication that had been put into putting this tour together, it was about to pay off, and they were about to ship out to London. Michael was particularly excited. We heard from Kenny Ortega regarding Michael's love for magic and illusions, and they had talked about it, that tomorrow being June 25th, 2009, the illusion would be ready. And Kenny Ortega described it as flames coming up and this illusion where evidently Michael Jackson would appear out of nowhere. And Michael had a great love and fondness for this type of theatrical presentation. And he was excited about the next day to have this illusion finally be unwrapped. Kenny and Michael talked. Michael said he was very happy. He wanted Kenny to thank everybody and tell them that he loved him. He told Kenny, "I love you." Kenny said, "I love you too," and they hugged and parted ways. Randy Phillips was also at that rehearsal. And he described walking down the hallway with Michael. Michael put his hands on his shoulders and said to Randy, "You got me here, now I'm ready. I can take it from here." They hugged, and that was the last time Randy saw Michael Jackson alive. This was in the subterranean garage of the Staples Center at the conclusion of the rehearsal. And again, that was the last time he saw him alive.